businesses or with an academic partner. Academic partners aren't essential, but where they're appropriate, we very much encourage them. I think that sort of, one of the other presenters touched on intellectual property. We insist that the partners have their own intellectual property agreement, but all we wish to know is that exists. We don't have any interest ourselves in the intellectual property generated. Indeed, if we did have an interest, we'd have to pay VAT, so we don't want to pay that. So we've got a good incentive not to. Okay, actually, you had a very good example of one of our projects this morning from tidal generation, which fell into that sort of criterion, where, remember, we were supporting the demonstration stage of that. And that probably, if you're into technology readiness levels, that sort of shows the range we work on. Most of our support is in the applied area, and depending on your technical background, you might call that technical development, you might call it applied research, you might call it industrial research. Where there is more basic feasibility, we will support it where it's appropriate, and we will go into demonstration. We have, when you've put in an application, we have a number of gateway questions. In other words, if you don't pass them, it doesn't get considered. So the first one is, does it align with a specific priority that we've identified? Coming out of our innovation platforms, out of our key technology and application areas, we announce competitions. We've got 3 running at the moment. One small-scale activity around creative industries, which, in fact, where we're assessing them monthly, and the last one is the middle of August. A fast-track one with slightly more funding for creative industries, running monthly up till November. And coming out of the innovation platform assisted living, a competition on smart care for distributed environment. I met one person today in the audience who actually currently got competitions in all 3 areas. I think that's quite an achievement. We'll be announcing further competitions from the innovation platforms from the key technology and application areas moving forward. We'll be announcing some more in the autumn and so forth. So keep an eye on the website for what's coming in these areas. Second gateway question. Does our funding add value? And to that, you need to show that you will be doing stuff. You'll be increasing the amount of money you're spending on R&D. In other words, you'll be doing things which you wouldn't otherwise be doing as a result of our contribution. I'm not going to go into this. What it says is that when you apply, there are a number of detailed criteria which you're asked to address, which go back to the 4 questions we asked. We do have an expression of interest stage, where the questions are a lot simpler and a lot shorter, and you have the opportunity to, having put that in, on a voluntary basis, to discuss the 2 sides you've written with one of our technologists to get an indication earlier whether it's going to go or not. Typically, we can be oversubscribed anything up to 8 or 9 times, so you should be pretty pleased about that. But what we do is to shortlist down to around twice the money we have available before we ask participants to come in with a full application. So if you're invited to put in a full application, you stand around a 50% chance of being successful. And that's simply because it's a waste of everyone's time to put in a lot of effort on your part to put in an application where we know you only stand a 12% chance of success. Okay, so to summary, we're looking to invest in collaborative R&D projects in our strategic priority areas that lead to wealth creation in the UK, and we want the best team to do that. We welcome academic partners in those teams where they add real value. Knowledge transfer networks are a good way to learn about these opportunities, and KTNs will be fully aware of what's going on and will be having partnering events and so forth to bring together potential bidders into activities. And they will also be helping shape the strategy for what gets called in the future. A knowledge transfer partnership may suit you better for knowledge exchange. If you want details of the Technology Strategy Board, go to the innovateuk.org website, and details on collaborative R&D competitions, technologyprogram.org.uk website. Do these slides get made available afterwards to people? I'm going to say, otherwise, I guess you probably want to write down at least innovateuk.1. So that's really all I had to say. Thank you. And I think I did my 20 minutes.